around and you watched a few of the videos, you know that we don't like hype. We don't like a lot of the stuff that makes trying to lose fat more complicated than it is. Um, but I thought, hey, what if I could share with you this super advanced technique that will give you crazy fat loss? All right, let me explain. Give me a couple minutes, I'll explain this, and you can literally start it today or tomorrow, is up to you. Do that whole one, this is my last day type thing. Um, but fasting, we've talked about it. The last video was about fasting. Um, I told you, like, people come up with different types of names and they make it, like some magical thing is happening. No, there's no magical thing. It's you are just now having a smaller window of time to eat. And obviously the shorter time period you have, the less calories you can eat in that window. You can still do it, but it's going to be more difficult. The probability goes down, right? Um, Now, one of the few things, like from the burrito diet, what we learn, right, is if we look through the five lenses of fat loss and we focus on convenience, we focus on enjoyment, um, and the ease of your ability to track this, then the probability that you lose all the fat you want goes up. Okay. So this method, so first I'll just tell you how you do this, okay? So this special type of fasting it works like this. Um for the majority of the day, okay, you will consume just protein. Okay. Now I have another special variation of this where I'll have a donut in the morning. Okay, so this is the donut fast. So I'll have a donut, have maybe, one or two of these. That's 42 grams. And so by the time 3, 4, 5 p.m. hits, you now have bulk of your protein done. Now you're left with 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 calories to do whatever you want with. That's a lot of calories. You want to eat a pizza every night? You could eat a pizza or many slices. Or if you make your own pizza, you can have, several pizzas. I got a client who literally eats 3 to 4 pizzas that he makes every day, and he's lost, a disgusting amount of fat. Um, so this first variation, okay, so I'll give you my version, which is the donut fast. In the donut fast, like I'm Punjabi, we like to have our chai in the morning or our coffee, and we like to eat something sweet with it. So like I'll have a donut. Um, and then for the rest of the day, or the bulk of the day, I'll have several protein shakes. So now I'm at 100, 120, 130 grams of protein. And I got 1,000 calories left for dinner. Now you could have whatever you want. So that's the first one. That's the donut fast. Then the second one, where maybe you don't care about the sweets. Some people like to pretend, oh, I'm not a big sweets guy. Okay, whatever you say, man. Um, but there is a technical name for this. The technical name for this is called a protein sparing modified fast. All that means is that you're just eating protein during the day, and then you have a ton of calories left over, and you can, eat whatever you want. Um, and that's it. It's so simple. The reason that this is valuable is because maybe you're at a season, right? Maybe, you got, we all go through different things. Maybe you got financial stuff going on. Maybe you got family stuff going on, relationship stuff, maybe work stuff, and really weighing you down, right? We won't go too deep into that, but like as humans, we go through these things and you're just feeling kind of beat down by it. And the last thing you need is some complicated thing because you also want to lose fat because you recognize losing fat will make enhance your life. So the point of this type of thing or strategy is to make it more simple and practical and easier. That's it's all about convenience, okay? Um, and so it's good to have these different types of tools so that, if it's a rough time in life, you can still make an adjustment on the food side. Because look, here's the other thing. If you're already going through a rough time in your life at this moment, and then you've always wanted to lose fat and maybe you got a bunch of fat you want to lose and your health is also falling apart and you don't like what you see when you look in the mirror and your clothes they don't fit well and it's just a shitty feeling. The complicated stuff is going to not help. But if you have this type of tool, you can still lose fat. And now at least one area of your life is starting to move. And that can start to build momentum and spill into other areas, right? You start feeling good about, man, you look good. You look good in whatever you decide to wear. That does affect other stuff. Maybe you'll feel more motivated at work. Maybe you'll, feel have a different perspective and you won't want to waste time. You won't want to just scroll and just make yourself feel shittier. So that's kind of the point of this. Look, like the title of this video is just kind of, I'm making a joke, but there is some value there, right? And so use these tools. Now I will say this, all these strategies, they rest on top of the principles of the physics of fat loss. So if you end up eating more calories than what you need to lose fat, you're still not going to lose fat, right? So like I said, it makes it more difficult to overeat, but it's not to say that it's impossible to eat 4,000 calories in a 2-hour window. Like that's not impossible. So that's kind of the message for this. And that's, as I will always mention, like that's what the burrito diet is about. As always, if you got questions, if you need help, you have two options. You want to join the group, the burrito diet on school. That's where our coaching group is. I'm in there every day. That's a cheaper option. It's $49 a month. And if you want one-on-one coaching, that's 250 to $300 a month. But the point is, you can do this, and I will always repeat that. And it happens when it happens. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I've been there. I know everybody else has been there. We try to get it done by this time, or I'm going to do it this, and there's just so much force and uh, pressure that you put on yourself that it's rough, and that's okay. It happens when it happens. And when you start to ease up on yourself, and what often happens is you start being able to do the stuff because you're not just paralyzed in action, right? Ask me how I know. Like I've been there. So that's all. I hope you have a great Saturday. If you want to join the deadlift party tomorrow, there will be a Zoom link, even if you're not in San Jose. If you're in San Jose, message me. I'll send you the address.